Hi everyone, ChillGenXer here. There's been some significant changes to the Linux dedicated server install scripts, so I wanted to make an updated video to show you what's new. I've removed more of the manual steps and it now detects if you have an existing world, so I'm going to show you how all that works. Okay, so let's get started on a clean install. There's nothing installed at all on this test machine I'm using. After I do this, I'll install it again to show you the process if you already have a world on your machine so you don't lose it, and you can hook the scripts in to actually control it. Okay, so one of the things that trip people up in the first iteration of these scripts was some people were running it under root. So that's not ideal, and you really want to set up a new user. So we're going to start with that. I do have the instructions in the Git repository, so we're just going to do that. So we're going to start with, let's create this user. So add user SAP server, enter. I'm going to put a set a password for the new user. This is the set. That was my... Okay, type it again. All right, so we'll just call this the Sapiens server user. And you can just click through these. They're not required. Let's say this is correct. Okay, so the user's added. Now we have to give it sudo access, meaning it can install things. So we'll type in our command here from the Git repository, and that's it. Okay, so we're going to log out of this user, and we're going to restart, and we're going to log in as that new user. So SAP server. There we go. So I'd cached the password before when I was testing this for the video, but you'd be prompted to enter your new user. Okay, so we're in an absolutely fresh account. There's no nothing installed. So the next thing we're going to do, if we look over here, is we need to clone this repository. So we're going to grab this and paste it in and pull down the scripts. So if we take a look, we'll see we now have a Sapiens server directory, and we're going to change into that. We'll see we have all the scripts, and the next thing we need to do is make the install.sh script executable so it can actually run. So that is chmod plus x install sh. Okay, so the script is runnable. So let's do that. Install.sh. Okay, so first, it like the one of the new changes, it does look to see if everything is installed, and as we can see here, it's not. So it's prompting me now for the user password so it can actually switch into sudo mode and do the install. So we're going to put in our password for this user. And really, at this point, it's all automated, but you'll get a scatter prompt that you'll need to respond to, so just keep an eye on it. So let's do that. All right, next one. Okay, the Steam license agreement. If you want to play, you need to agree. All right, so everything is installed, and now we're prompted to create a new world. So we're going to call this one um, Children Xers Test World. Okay, the world was created. So it's just showing you what it's going to look like in the multiplayer. Like when you bring up the game and you see the server, it's going to be in the format my server name and the world name, which we just set. So here's an opportunity to basically be able to change the server name. So we're just going to change this to Children Xers server. And we are going to advertise. So we're just going to say yes. We'll enter our UDP ports. We'll just stick with the standards by pressing enter. And that's it. We're done. So you'll get a little summary now that'll show you what your local IP address is. You'll need this for port forwarding if you want to port forward this out to the internet. You'll see the ports that you have to open. So for the defaults I picked, it'll be all of these, and I'm going to advertise, and this is what it's going to look like in the game. Okay, so it's prompting me to start the world now, so why not? Yeah, that's why we're here. Okay, so that's it. You're done. So now it's just a matter of steady state and using the scripts to run it. So we've already started it. Let's just type out the sapiens.sh command. And you'll see, I'm going to expand this. We don't need GitHub anymore. We're basically done. So you'll see all the different commands here we can use. So we'll just go through. So the install script actually ran the first one. So we've done that. So the next one we want to see is we just want to see the console running. So if we do this console, we'll see that the server is up, everything loaded okay, it's ready for connections, and Steam is good. So to get out of the console, this is a screen session, which is basically a application on Linux that allows you to run applications in the background without having to leave your console open. So you want to hold your control key and hit A and D, and that will detach you from the session. So that's still running, and we can get back to that anytime by using the console command. So that's fine. So let's go to the next one. So we can stop our server and stop, and we'll see now if we try to do a console, it's actually not running anymore. So we've fully stopped the server. The next command is restart. So this is usually when it's running and things are getting laggy and you just kind of want to bounce the server. You can just run the Sapiens sh restart command. That'll basically just do a stop, wait a little minute, and then do a start. So that's kind of restart. The next one, and this is new, sapiens.sh auto restart. So this allows you to reboot your server at a interval. And at this point in development, it is a good practice to just automatically reboot your server after about an hour. So we're going to set that as 60 minutes. This takes, the argument is in minutes. So we're just going to say we want to auto restart. Okay, so that's automatic. So what that's actually doing under the covers, it sets up a cron tab job to run the restart command every 60 minutes. And if we don't want to actually auto restart, we can set it back to 0. And you can see then that the cron job is removed. Okay, the upgrade command is next. So upgrade, when you see in the announcements there's a new server version, you can just run this command. It'll reach out to Steam, grab the latest Linux server executable and update the system. If you run it without an update, it'll just verify the install. So, you know, if something got corrupted or something, you can also use the upgrade to to update the server. What else do we have? Sapiens.sh. And the last one is backup. So if we run backup here, okay, it's just going to create a backup. So let me just refresh my directories here. So that backup command will back up your world file and copy it, like create it in this world. So that is a backup of our world. So that's pretty cool. The other thing we've added is that when you do a stop or crashes or whenever the server is up and comes down, basically, the log files will generate here. So, you know, if you need to do a bug report or something, you'll be able to grab your logs from that session here. They're time-stamped of when they were generated. Okay, so really that's it. That's how you run a server. So what we're going to do now, we're going to do this again, but we're going... I'm going to pretend here, I'm going to remove this directory. And if you're removing this, like, it's probably a good idea if you've run my scripts before on the older version to get rid of this folder. But just make sure you've taken your backup files. If you need any of the backup files that were there before, make sure you take them out. So I'm just going to use this command to remove the folder altogether. And you can see now we're back to fresh. So we're going to do a git clone. And actually, do we have it here in the list? I don't want to go looking for that URL. There it is. Okay, so we're going to clone again. But the difference this time is everything is installed. All Steam CMD is installed. You've got an existing world, but you're running these scripts for the first time. So... same process as before. Sapiens server, we're going to go in there. We have to chmod the install script. Right, so we'll run this install again. And you see this time it didn't go through the whole Steam install. It knew. Right, like that it was already there. It does update automatically the actual Sapiens server executable, so it does a refresh. But you'll see this time now we have a little some options. We can actually select an existing world, or we can create a brand new one. So really, most people will only be running one world. So we're just going to pick the existing world. And we can see here, this was the previous world we'd set up before we deleted it, or we deleted the install, but the world is still there. So we're just going to select that. It'll go through this again. And really, anytime you want to change the server name or the ports you're using, or if you want to advertise or not, just rerun the install script. It'll regenerate a config file for you with the new settings. So... the next version of the scripts, I'm going to make this a little easier and more intuitive, but for now, this works okay. So the server name, I'm just going to put back in what I had before. Server. And we're still going to advertise. We'll keep the default ports, and we're done. So we're back. That's it. So, like, very easy. There's very little, you don't have to go fishing around for directory names or anything like that now. So that's all done automatically. So, if you have any issues or comments, things you'd like to see the scripts do, just leave them in the comments below and subscribe. I'll have more Sapiens related videos as things get going. Thanks for watching.